Welcome to Ira Street Renovation Week 158. It's a big one. I passed my final inspection this week. After 3 years, I get my certificate of occupancy, which means I can move everything out of storage into the house. I do a few odds and ends as well, such as throw up some towel racks in the bathrooms and start setting up the kitchen with some new bar stools, a KitchenAid mixer, and more. So without further ado, let's move into this place. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in, guys. Well, this week begins with some really good news. At 3 years and 1 day of renovating, I just passed all my inspections today. So I have my certificate of occupancy, everything. The permits are done, I can move in, so that is really, really awesome news. With that, I can finally take the stickers off the windows. So let's take some stickers off. On Thursday, I start by installing this towel shelf in bathroom 2. Since this is the bathroom guests will be using, I want to have extra towels at the ready. I also install a 2-bar rack by the bathtub. With that, bathroom 2 is done. In bathroom 1, I installed a simple hook for the hand towel by the sink, as well as this 1-bar towel rack by the shower. All towel racks and hooks are matte black to match the rest of the fixtures in the house. On Wednesday, goodies start arriving for the kitchen. I've always wanted a KitchenAid mixer, and now that the kitchen is done, I treat myself to this nice Empire Red 5-quart model. After a quick Jimmy John's sandwich dinner, I assemble the new bar stools. As I mentioned earlier, all fixtures in the house are matte black, so with anything wood, I also want to have a consistent design language. I'm leaning into walnut, and I think it's going to be a great look. Here's how the kitchen looks at the end of the night. Before turning it in, I turn to grouting the fireplace. It's amazing how much polish these finishing touches add. I'm going with a midnight black grout, and I think it looks great against these black tiles. Before the grout dries, I remove the tape. It's done its job of protecting the walls, and from anyone who has painting experience, you know that it's always easier to remove the tape when the applied product is still wet and the lines come out razor sharp. A little cleanup, and that's all for the night. On Saturday, Mom and Dad come up to help me move in. It only takes one trip to the storage locker for us to load everything up and bring it back to the house. Mom and Dad help me get the big items into their final rooms like mattresses and dressers. Boxes go anywhere else we can find a spot on the floor. By noon, we're done with the move, which leaves me the rest of the day to start the monster task of unboxing. After a full day of unpacking, I've barely made a dent. I'll probably be getting rid of a lot of things, downsizing, donating some clothes. I already donated 1 round of stuff to Habitat for Humanity. That was a bunch of surplus construction materials that I didn't need anymore. And hey, happy to donate to a nonprofit that can use it. Anyways, just wanted to show you the house before I call it a night here. Tonight, we get an hour back. It's the daylight savings time change. So anyways, here's what the house looks after a day of moving. So yeah, lots to unpack, lots to organize. I was telling my mom, I feel like a hoarder. It's like I haven't lived with this stuff for the last 2 years. It's been in storage, and really, all I've been needing is my dresser with clothes, a computer desk, and a microwave and a fridge, and I've been pretty happy with just those things. So it's funny, yeah, I've never considered myself a minimalist, but it's funny how few things you actually can get by with, and that's been a cool part of this process. So anyways, things are cool. I have a lot of hobbies. I guess I'll show you one last thing. All this stuff downstairs is my brewing equipment and my candle making equipment. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy these hobbies, but as you can see, you need a lot of equipment for these hobbies too. So, I don't know. I guess that'll be the next journey. Which hobbies I keep, what stuff do I keep? So, stay tuned as I continue to unpack and build out the fine details of the home. Thanks for watching. On Sunday, I take a break from the house to get a run in across the Skyline Traverse. This is an 18.5-mile run that goes from South Boulder to North Boulder. It traverses 4 peaks, nets 6.4 thousand feet of verticals, and took me just over 5 hours. If I'm being honest, this wasn't my fastest time crossing the Traverse. Last season, I managed something like 4 hours and 45 minutes, but my excuse today was that it was very windy. And truly, it was. With gusts up to 30 miles an hour, parts of it felt like running into a wall. On top of that, the Traverse is just an ass kicker. It immediately takes you straight up South Mesa Peak, which is about 1,300 feet of gain in a mile. Once you make it this far, you hang on for the final 15 miles. If you're smart about how you manage your glycogen levels, you can finish not feeling too terrible. For me, water management is always the hardest part of this run. By the time I hit the base of Mount Sanitas around mile 15, I'm always out of water, no matter how much I bring and no matter what the weather's like. Fortunately, there's a water fountain you can top up at, and before long, you've made it to the top of Mount Sanitas to take in this view. On Monday, I spent some time in the shop making custom mounts for the drawer slides in my cupboards. The two 36-inch cabinets in my island have drawers that can pull out, but the directions that came with them weren't very clear. Fortunately, it's pretty easy to determine the correct spacing, cut these rails accordingly, and screw them to the cabinet carcasses. And just like that, I have some soft closing drawers for my 36-inch cabinets. I hope this will make storing and retrieving kitchen appliances a breeze. I close out the week by installing this carpet in bedroom 2 and setting up my bed frame. After 2 years of sleeping on an air mattress, I can't tell you how excited I was to get this job done. It's been a busy week of moving, and slowly the house is coming together. Thanks for tuning in, and until next week, happy renovating.